Orientation is locked. Rotate device back. What? Y'all done changed it? Oh, come on. Really? When did y'all change it to this? Now I need a book. When did they do this? Y'all done messed up my whole. Y'all done messed up my whole situation. Why? Okay, I don't like this. Y'all done changed the live. Let me see what this look like on camera. I don't like this. I may have to do it from my computer. How y'all changed the orientation and didn't tell us? Okay, okay. Let me see. Why? Why they changed the orientation of the camera? Um. Okay. So y'all gonna have to bear with me, cause we gonna be doing a couple of things. Maybe if I take everything out. Is a concealer in there? No. Um, we gonna go with this color. What are we talking about? Did I put a title up here? Oh, don't let your past hold you hostage. Honey, I see that um Timothy Blaine is the this is get ready with me. So we gonna get ready. We ain't going nowhere, but we gonna get ready. And if I'm looking in that direction, it's because the mirror is over there, and that's what I'm gonna use to get ready. So I see that Timothy Blaine is the um, pick of the week for the person in this sector of YouTube that you know likes to argue with each other and fight because I don't think they have anything else to do. Um, so Timothy Ryan used for this is the Maybelline eraser. It's like a concealer, and I do have kind of like dark circles under my eyes. I'm 50, so I'm 56, and hell, a part of you know, age. Some of y'all out here younger than me and got more luggage up under your eyes than I do. So I don't do this every day. I don't I don't wear makeup every day. But I wanted to do something different for this video because I am going to be doing things a little different. So, uh Timothy Blaine is being. Oh, so I do a little concealer around the eyes because the concealer helps your um, eyeshadow to blend better. So I'm gonna put just a little teensy weensy bit of powder, and this is also Maybelline. I'm gonna just put just a little teensy bit of powder there. Also, so Timothy is being used as content, and what they are using for Timothy is his past. This is Maybelline foundation in color 355. Um, I have two foundations because it's summertime, and I tan, and then some days I look more pale than other days. So I do have two different foundations that I use. Where's my sponge? And I wanted to say this: we all have a past. You cannot get to 62 years old without having a past. Everybody got a past. A 18-year-old got a past. I have a past. Um, you know, to use someone's parents, mother, what their mom went through, or what they went through to talk about in a derogatory manner, like Uncle Tim has a interesting story. I'm glad that he wrote a book to talk about, his life and what he's been through. I don't like to use a whole lot of foundation. I just like to, go over certain areas, child. Take the shine off. I ain't doing a whole lot because I don't like taking all this stuff off. You ain't gotta look like you like super made up, especially on the fact that I'm not going nowhere. I'm just gonna be doing this video. So, Tim has written a book called Meth Monster, where he talks about openly and candidly talks about his addictions and what he has been through in life. And people that know me know that I used to be a um, counselor for people who had addictions. So I have taken and sat through many of AA meetings, court proceedings for my clients who had, who were struggling to get off of whatever particular drug they were on. And I chose that field because my mother was an alcoholic. My own mama. My mama was an alcoholic. And I'm not going to hide my past or try to make it seem like I came from, this perfect family because I didn't. My mother was an alcoholic. And I don't understand black people that especially can get online, screaming Black Lives Matter and all of this kind of stuff. But you the main one. You, the main one, tearing your brother or sister who is black, tearing them down. So, don't our lives matter when we talk to each other? Because I applaud anybody that is comfortable enough to come online and live in their truth and tell their story. Because it takes a lot to be open and honest about what you have been through, what your life was like as a child, to stand in that and be honest, you know, and tell your story takes a lot, an awful lot. And then for someone to come behind you and laugh at your story and invalidate what you've been through, or attempt to invalidate what you've been through and poke fun at your struggles, it has to be something wrong with you. Because we all have a past. We all do. Jesus had a past. He had a past. He was a human for a minute before he ascended. So even he had a past. He got beat up and whipped and all kind of stuff and didn't even fight back. Like, you can say, God, dog, well, he was the son of God and he didn't even fight back. Like, he had a past. It just bothers me, like, seriously, to see how, you know, y'all deal with each other. For what? For these little scraps that you gonna get from the slave master's table? Like, for these little 5 or 6 scraps that YouTube is going to throw you, you get on here and belittle and put down and berate someone because of their past? That's what we've come to as Black Lives Matter. That's what we've come to? Like, that's what we doing? I love to hear people's stories. You know, I love for people to tell me how they grew up, what they went through growing up. Like, I grew up in California. I've been in California all my life. So I know that, what I've been through may be different from someone growing up in an area like Detroit or Chicago or whatever. I mean, not that, there's no crime in California. Of course, there's crime and gang violence everywhere. But I think it's different in some areas. So I love to hear people's stories, like how they grew up. How did they get to the point where they are now? Is always really interesting to me. Like, me and my husband, we both grew up here in the Bay Area, and our stories are totally different. Like, my husband grew up with a mom and dad, with his mother and father, and they're both still alive in the home with him. I grew up with just my mom, with a single parent. So, of course, um, I put on a little mascara before I put my eyelashes on because I am gonna put my lashes on, child. So of course, um, we grew up different. Plus, my husband grew up in a very mixed area, um, with white people, and I didn't. I grew up in an area that was predominantly, not predominantly black, that was all black. All black. Like, I didn't have any white neighbors. I didn't have any white friends because there were no white kids at the school that I went to. There was one white family that, lived where we lived. And Esther Cresta, her brother Stephen, and I can't remember, I think they had like a little sister, but they used to get beat up all the time because they were poor white people that lived in, you know, um, an all black area. Like their family was really poor to be living in that area that we was living in because no other white people lived there at all. So, like I would really love to hear her story. Like what it was really like growing up, going to a high school that was all black. You the only white kid there because I remember when Roots came out, honey, we chased Esther and Stephen home every day. We chased them home. We threw rocks at them. Okay, because well, for one thing, we were kids. We did not understand, the impact that, and I don't think our parents understood the impact that Roots had on us, making us, watch this show. It really took us out. Like, it really did. So we chased home Esther and Stephen every day because, Roots was like this mini series that came on um, for what, like a week or something? I'm putting on these faux mink lashes that I got from the beauty supply. About to put these on. I'm gonna try to put these on with that new lash glue stuff. Where are we at? Um. Oh, I've been putting on makeup for 18 minutes. Lord, have mercy, Jesus. See, that's why I don't do this often. This is too much work. I don't see how y'all women that wear makeup, Lord, I can't see. I can't see nothing, Jesus. See, putting on makeup is for someone like myself that has astigmatism and really need their glasses to see. Like, seriously. I need my glasses, child. If I don't have my glasses, I can't see nothing. That's why I ain't reading them comments, because I can't see them. Okay? I can't see them comments without my glasses. Let me try to put these lashes on. This about to be interesting. Um, is this how I go? I don't know. Um, ooh, Jesus. So, yeah, we chased them home every day during the whole Roots saga. I don't know if I had this on right. I don't know. You know what? We just gonna this what you gonna get. I think they too big. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. But this what you gonna get. Maybe they're a little bit too dramatic. I can't wait till my husband comes in here and see these lashes. He gonna be like, "You ain't never wearing them out in public." Okay, they just dramatic. I'm gonna put the other one on too. Oh yes, I am. So we used to chase. Um, oh Lord, we used to chase Stephen and Esther home every day from school while Roots was going on. Okay, I couldn't see this at all. I know this one about to be messed up. Well, I can't see. Oh Lord, this is about to be bad. Y'all gonna talk about me? I don't care. Y'all know I don't care. If you didn't know that I don't care, you about to know today. You gonna learn today. I can't wait till my husband come in here and see these lashes. He is about to be like, you're not wearing those out in public. Don't y'all say nothing. Don't be like, oh, you can. No. Hush. Okay? Hush. Oh. One thing about this glue doll, I think I put these on wrong too, is this y'all do stick? Oh, Jesus. I spoke too soon. Ooh, this ain't nowhere near right. Okay. Maybe that's it. Okay, I think that's it. Ooh! Oh, you ain't gonna tell me nothing. If I can get them to stay on here. Okay, why this one look better than the other one? You ain't gonna be able to tell me nothing. These lashes, you just not. So, up here he come. Here he come, y'all.
I'm going back.
Babe,
I'll see you.
babe,
Huh?
you ain't say nothing about my lashes.
They look nice. Whoa! Whew. Turn it on. No, but they look nice on you. They do. You just okay. I mean, go, girl.
Go,
Go.
go where? Fly
Do what you
away.
want with those. Bye.
Bye, boy. So, I say that to say this. Don't let nobody hold you hostage because of your past. If your mama was a crackhead, your mama was a crackhead. If you was a crackhead, you was a crackhead. That's part of your past. If your daddy went to jail, your daddy went to jail. That's all it is. How can you allow somebody to hold you hostage for your truth? My mama was an alcoholic. That's that. I ain't no alcoholic. I don't understand how people think that they can hurt somebody's feelings by telling their past. That's Tim's past. Tim was on meth. He wrote a whole book about it. Want to hear it? Here you go. He was on meth. He did drugs. He went to San Quentin. He went to jail. He served his time. He got out. Obviously, he changed his life around. He's no longer in San Quentin. He's a free man. So how can you come at somebody for their past? I'm sick of these people on YouTube. I am so sick of them. And for some reason, I can't get rid of them. I done tried to watch other channels. I done tried so hard to get out of this sector of YouTube, to get away from these crazy people, but they still pop up. They like roaches. They like roaches. You think you done got rid of roaches. Like you done sprayed, you done cleaned up your house. Cause we had roaches. Me and my first husband, we had roaches, honey. And when I tell you we had roaches, we had roaches. Okay? We moved into this apartment. When we moved in, I didn't see no remnants of roaches or nothing. Everything was cool. And I'd say about maybe a couple of weeks in, or a couple of, I don't know, child. But them roaches started coming from everywhere. They're like, every time I open the cabinet or go in the kitchen at night, it was roaches. So me and my husband, we were like, okay, let's take everything out the cabinets and, do a fogger. We did all that. We thought we had to kill the roaches because we didn't see them for a couple of days. And bam, here come another roach. But that's because they was in the apartment complex. Like they was everywhere. These roaches was everywhere, honey. They had done set up camp in this apartment, and we was constantly fighting these roaches. Just every night we was fighting these roaches. Honey, the roaches was so bad they done got up in the alarm clock. That's when you know you got roaches real bad, when they start getting into stuff that like we had to move because they did. We told the owner. They had an exterminator come out and do all of the apartments. I think it was 6 units, and we were on the ground floor, and they had an exterminator come out and exterminate and everything, and we still had roaches, child. So we ended up moving to get away from them damn roaches. But if you got roaches, you just got roaches, and they're gonna come up. That's how your past come up. You can't get away from them roaches. You can't get away from your past. Your past is your past, and it don't make no sense in this world to allow your past to hold you hostage. I ain't got on no bra, okay? So if you have a problem with titties, you probably need to go someplace else. Because I'm not going to hold my titties hostage either when I'm at home. In the comfort of my own home, I see no reason to force my breasts to be hostage in no bra. So that's that. Now, if titties bother you, you probably need to go follow somebody else because they don't bother me. But I just want to let you know in case you be like, oh my God, she coming all off YouTube, ain't got on no bra. I sure don't. And if that bothers you, go find somebody else to watch that got on a bra, that wants to be held hostage by a bra, that I choose not to be held hostage by. Okay? Oh, is that my brother? Is that my brother on here? Hey, Sammy. Hey, everybody. Hey, House of Black Hearts. All of my members. I take almost an hour when I do a full face. I enjoy it because it relaxes me. Honey, I just don't have an hour to put all this. This a light beat. This one of them light beats. I don't have an hour to put into makeup. I just don't. I mean, even when I go out, I don't have an hour to put into makeup. So don't allow anything from your past to hold you, because we all have one. A past is something that we all have. We all have parents. Our parents all have their own individual stories. I mean, even though my mother was an alcoholic, I'm still so proud of her that she made a sacrifice that is so hard for a lot of mothers to do. My mother knew that she had a drinking problem, and instead of wanting to hurt me, she decided to give me to my auntie so that my auntie could raise me. I applaud her for that, because she could have been one of them mothers that was like, I'm just gonna keep on drinking, and whatever happens to that baby happens to her. But she didn't do that. And there are a lot of parents that do that. I have worked with a lot of people that have been through issues with their parents. Now it's different to work through the issues of your past. If you have things that come up in your past that bother you, then you need to work through them. You can't allow them to hold you hostage if they bother you from internal you. Because what goes on externally from other people, your mama was a crackhead, I seen your mama on the corner scratching her butt. You can't even deal with external people. But internally, if that bothers you, if it bothers you to know that your mother was standing on the corner, going through one of her crack binges, if it bothers you internally, then you need to go get some help and work through that. Because I'm telling you, if you have problems with things that your parents did to you as a child, as an adult, those things will continue to come up in your life. I was looking at a post that Funky Dineva made today, and he was like mad because he, had this memory that his parents used to make him clean his plate or eat all of his food when he was young. I don't know what's wrong with y'all millennials, but everything that your parents did to you, y'all are triggered and scarred by it. And for some reason, you millennials think that you are the only ones that had problems with your parents growing up. Our parents did the same thing to us. Our parents made us eat our food. Our parents made us sit. Our parents whooped us. We had, my mother wasn't on crack, but she was on alcohol. Every generation, parents did something to them, but it's something about you millennials that are, it's like you want to be hurt. You want to be abused. You want something to have happened to you so you can fit in or have something to complain about. Like y'all want to have been tortured or beat. We all got whooped. Every generation, the the baby boomers, we got whooped. Our parents was tripping too. They just wasn't tripping off of crack. Because crack didn't start until what, the 70s or something? I don't know, child. I ain't no crackhead. But we all done been through things. Y'all don't have the market on, crazy parents and being abused. We all have a backstory. But it just seems like the millennials, y'all millennials, are holding on to your pain so tight that you can't get no help. You are allowing your past to hold you hostage. Like, I don't even be thinking about the fact that my mama used to make me eat my food when I was little, but she really stopped doing that because I had a trick. When my mama started playing that stuff about, oh, you gotta, sit there until you eat, I would just throw up right there at the table. And she stopped doing that. That put a quick halt to that. I only had to throw up at the table twice. I would just literally sit there and throw up in my plate. And my mother stopped that. You got to eat. And then my mother would be like, fix her just a little bit of food and leave her alone. So that didn't go on in my house. But, I got whooped. I got put on punishment. I didn't get a Atari until I was like 11 or 12 years old. But yeah, I got things taken away from me. But I swear to God, y'all millennials act like y'all the only ones that got a whooping. Y'all the only ones that had to clean your plate. You the only ones that had to deal with some crackhead parents. And y'all have a monopoly on hurt and pain. And you don't. Everybody done been through something. Even people that grew up with what we consider perfect parents still found something wrong with their mama and daddy. Still. I know my best friend that lived across the street from me growing up had her mama and daddy, both parents in the home. They had 3 cars. They went on very nice vacations. They just looked like the perfect Claire Huxtable. And okay, that may be a bad example. But they just really looked like the perfect black family. Her father was a teacher. I forgot what her mother used to do. But yeah, it just seemed like they had it all. And this girl was always mad at the world and, sulking and stuff. And here I was with a single mother who we had an old raggedy car. Okay, it wasn't super raggedy, but, it wasn't brand new. I never went on vacation. The farthest I ever went as a small kid was to Great America, which we lived in Oakland. Great America is in what, Milpitas? Santa Clara. Santa Clara. The farthest I remember going was Great America. My friend, she went to Tahoe. She went to Disneyland, everywhere. And I didn't go to Disneyland until I was grown. But she was always unhappy. She was always grumbling about what she didn't get. That's just ungrateful, But we all got a story. We all got a story. I looked at her life and thought that her life was perfect. And for her, the life that she was living was, oh my God, like, my dad never takes me to Starbucks when I want to go. It was that type of thing, even though there was no Starbucks back there. Back then, I just made that up. Yeah, but children did not. Chil- yeah, child, I did a get ready with me. You done missed the whole thing, sweetie. Yeah, yeah. Sam said they also feel like you owe them something. Don't nobody owe you nothing. Nothing in this world is coming for free. And I think that was one of the things that I started telling my kids early in life. Nothing is free. Nothing. After you get a certain age with me, living in this house is not going to be free. I don't care that we're related because I'm preparing you for the real world. Now when my sons get, have to pay that rent on the first, they call me and be like, you oh yeah, see, now I really understand what you was trying to teach us. Yeah, you do now, because that rent hitting you in your pockets, and that car note, and all of those clothes that you wanted me to buy, telling me that I don't want to go to the thrift store. Boy, I'm a single parent. I'm going to go wherever I have to go to make it work. So while my kids will be at school, I would just go shopping at the thrift store and, just put it in another bag and throw it on their bed, and they never knew. Now, you don't want to go to the thrift store with me, that's fine. I'll just go to the thrift store and pick out, because I had found a good thrift store in like the white area. You know how stuff be different when you go farther. The farther you go away from where you live, the stuff at the thrift store be better. So I would go out to the white areas, to the thrift store. If I had to drive out farther, I didn't care. So I would go out there to the thrift store and get their stuff, and just bring it home, throw it on their bed, and they would look at it and be like, oh, I got the new Jabot jeans, or whatever, not knowing that all that stuff came from the thrift store. Child, you may not want to go there, but I'm going to go. But see, it's how you train your children, how you train them. You have to teach these kids that ain't nobody gonna give you nothing, not a one thing in this world. Okay, these lashes is getting on my nerves. Not one thing are they gonna give you. They're not gonna give you nothing. I was looking today. Is this lash falling off, Jesus? Is it falling off already? Maybe not. I was looking today. Oh Jesus, it feel like it's falling off. Oh Lord. Um, See, this lash just don't want me to be great. Okay, see, and I was just saying, you just stay on there at least until I finish. Okay, maybe it's gonna stay. I was looking at this program today. People are now being evicted from their homes in Houston, um, like this week. The evictions have started. Like all of these landlords and, you know, homeowners or whatever have went to court and gotten their paperwork to evict people that were behind on their rent because of COVID. So they had a camera crew following police officers in Houston, Texas, as they were putting people out of their homes. Y'all think it's been bad. Where are all these people going to go? And they are talking about this one particular news person said in Houston, in this one area in Houston, the police officer said he was getting 200 evictions a day. Where are these people going? I mean, I saw also on a YouTube video earlier this week that there's been a mass exodus of people leaving San Francisco. There's a young man on African American young man who does his entire YouTube channel is dedicated to going around San Francisco showing what apartments are renting for now in the city. And honey, he went into this one apartment. The bathroom was so small that he had to go inside and close the door in order to sit on the toilet. Like he couldn't sit on the toilet and close the door. It was that tiny. The it was a studio. The bathroom was small. The kitchen had like um I want to say like miniature appliances. The refrigerator was like one of those refrigerators that you would give to your child that was going off to college. The microwave was probably about big as this book. The all the appliances were tiny because the kitchen was like really small, the bathroom was small, and of course it's a studio, so it's just one room. And it looked like it only had like one window in the common room, and I think it had a window in the bathroom. I'm not really sure. And the rent was $2,200. Did you hear me? For a studio. $2,200 for a studio that when you sit on the toilet your knees would almost touch the wall if you were tall. I remember one time my ex-husband had rented this studio in East Oakland, and it was cheap. Like the rent was super cheap. His bathroom was so small. There was a tub in there. It was no shower, it was a tub. But the toilet was so close to the bathtub that when you sat on the toilet, your legs could touch the wall and the side of the bathtub. It was so small that it didn't even have a door. It had like this like little accordion sliding thing to. I was like, Lord. But I guess for one person, and the place was super cheap. It had a nice backyard. That was a plus. It had a really nice backyard, but the apartment was super duper small. But I say that to say this: people are leaving San Francisco in droves because they cannot afford that rent. And they're saying that a lot of the tech people who moved into San Francisco to be closer to where they were working, since people are working remotely, they are now leaving San Francisco because the rent is ridiculous. Like you think the rent is expensive in New York, the rent in San Francisco has went cool choo. I mean, I don't even understand how people eat. Like, how do you? So he showed another studio after they added the garbage, the water, and the parking. It was $200 on top of your almost $2,500 rent. It was $200 just to park your car. So that took this luxury studio in a luxury apartment to close to $3,000. Now the studio, this one was bigger. It was more modern. The all of the appliances were new. I think it was on like the 17th floor. Like the place was nice, but almost $3,000 for one room for a studio. A studio. That's not even a one bedroom. A studio for almost $3,000. After they added the water, and I think he said the water and the garbage was separate, and the parking was separate. It's crazy. I wish they understood. Well, I think they do understand now. You know that they had a good mother, and I was trying to really show them what it's like to, to live out here. Because it's real. But they grown now. They've been out for a minute because my youngest son left first. My oldest son, I had to help him out. I had to help him leave because he didn't want to. Let me hold on, y'all. Let me help Gizmo. Oh boy, sit down. You getting on my nerves. Pacing. I had to help him. I had to gently uh, help him move out because he didn't want to go. But it had got to the point where, um, it's difficult for uh, adult children to think that they can make their own rules in your house, you know, where they have lived under certain rules because they were kids. And then that transition for them into adulthood, they feel like, oh, okay, well, I'm grown now. I can do whatever I want to do. No, you can do whatever you want to do when you get your own place. You still have certain rules and regulations that you have to abide by when you living in my house. So of course that was a interesting uh, transition for both of them, but they understood it and they dealt with it. And now they are, grown on their own, taking care of their own apartments and, living their lives. And I'm proud of them and very happy that a lot of things that we struggled through, a lot of those things stuck. And they understand them now because they are older. Like my mama say, you gonna understand it better by and by. Can I talk about Ogun? No. I think I have a video about Ogun in my playlist, and you are more than happy to go and play that video because it is a complete teaching. I'm not talking about Orishas today. Nor when I talk about Orishas, they are normally in the title of the video. And when I talk about them, I like to prepare. So if you want to uh, learn about Ogun, you can go right on over there. I'm pretty sure. And you look in the playlist that says Orishas, there are a lot of videos that you can watch. So, back to what I was saying. Don't let nobody hold you hostage. You are who you are. Your parents are who they are. They did the best that they could with you, with what they had. You have to realize that there's no handbook for raising children. There are books out there to, you know, kind of give you some tips on what you should and shouldn't do and how you, but you don't know how to raise a child until you have a child. And all kids are different. You may have one child that you just have to raise your voice at, and, you know, they will do what you told them to do. Or you may have a child that you can just tell them, hey, don't do that. And they're like, oh, okay, I'm sorry. You may have that one really good child, and then you may have that child where, you have to keep reminding them over and over and over again not to do something. You never know until you have a kid. Because my two kids are totally different. Their attitudes, growing up were totally different. Their dispositions was totally different. One of them was loud and very friendly and aggressive and would fight at the drop of a hat. The other one was more quiet, more like me in the beginning, and then kind of morphed into something else after his, little stint with the teenager stage. So you never know. And a lot of our parents, you know, didn't have a lot of education when it came to raising kids. They kind of did what their parents did, which, may not have been right by the standards that we have now. I always say your parents gave you what they had. You can't expect for someone to be able to fill you up when they were empty. You know, just like we're looking at a situation now where a lot of kids are, remote learning. They're learning from home, and then you have parents at home, they don't know nothing about this new math. It's gonna be a lot of traumatized kids now. And some of these parents, I don't know what I did with my tissue. Some of these parents about to be traumatized because the teacher told you that Johnny never sat his behind down in class. She told you that, but you didn't believe her. You want to go up to the school and cuss her out and be like, "Not my Johnny. My Johnny is a sweet boy. My Johnny wasn't acting up." But now that you got Johnny at home with you 24/7 all day, you see what the teacher went through. You really gonna get a chance to see how Johnny can really act a fool. Cause he at home with you every day. Our parents gave us what they had. That's how you gonna do me? I'm gonna just keep the other one on. Our parents gave us what they had. They did. They couldn't give us no more. A lot of our parents dealt with a lot growing up, especially if you had parents that grew up in the 50s and the 60s. They went through a lot. They went through a lot. And then you millennials have parents who grew up in the 70s and the 80s. They went through a lot too. Y'all gonna deal with these two different eyes. That's what you're gonna do. And if you're not willing to do some work around what is going on with you, you can't blame your parents. Because after a certain age, you can't blame them. This your mess. And if you're not willing to clean it up, you're not even willing to try to clean it up, then that's on you. That's on you. Because there's too many resources out there to help you. Like, I've noticed that a lot of people don't know that there are, especially here in California, there are a lot of free mental health resources. That's one thing that California has um, put into place. But a lot of people don't want to go in and get the help. You don't want to do the work. You want to sit back and complain about what your mama and daddy did to you, how they messed you up and everything. Okay, we got that. Do something about it. They messed you up? Okay. I understand that. What are you going to do to make the situation better? Because just sitting around complaining is not going to help. I can complain all day about things that I went through, but it ain't going to make it no better. I can sit right here, right now, and cry over that eyelash that just fell off. But it ain't going to make the eyelash jump back on my eye and stay up there. It's not. And I don't think it's the glue's fault. I don't think I put enough glue on that eye because the other one is sticking. Hey, Phyllis. Yeah, Kingston. Kingston, he ain't ready to listen yet. Some kids are different. You, when you have more than one child, you have to find out the rhythm for all of your kids. Some kids, it takes a little bit more to get them to listen, or different, techniques. Like mothers are so afraid. Oh, I don't want to yell at my baby because I don't want him to be scarred for life. Child, I don't. The only thing that I remember from the only whooping that I really remember from my mother is the one where she made me carry my bike up the flight of stairs by myself. I don't remember my mama raising her voice at me. I don't remember none of that. And I'm pretty sure that she did. But I don't remember that. These kids ain't gonna remember you raising your voice. Sometimes you have to raise your voice. Because kids, you may have that one child that's not going to receive everything in love. Sometimes you got to raise your voice and let them know that you're serious. Or make eye contact. Look at me. Go sit down. Now. Make them make eye contact with you. Do it again. I dare you. I'm telling you. Sometimes you got to flip the script. You got to change the way you deal with them. Because you may have that one child that they think, oh, mommy no hurt my feelings. No, mama gonna hurt your feelings if you don't go somewhere and sit your mind down. I'm not playing with you. Sometimes that's what they need, or they need a grandma like me. Bring him on my house. I bet you he'll sit down somewhere. Go. Where you going? Go in there and sit down. I ain't never had no problems with my grandkids. Never. They come over here, they be just as good, and they mamas be like, "You ain't had no problem." No, and I'm not going to. Mm-mm. They didn't act no fool with me. They saved that up for you. I'm not gonna. I don't trust my grandma. I don't. Mm-mm. I'm not gonna play with her like that. And they don't. And they shouldn't play with you. But you have to train them not to play with you. You got to train them that there are certain times when I'm not playing with you. I told you to sit down, and I mean it. You don't have to snatch a crook in their neck, but you got to have just the right amount of fear, just the right amount, just a tinge of fear, a tinge. You got to, because if you don't, you'll have that one child that will be like, she ain't gonna do nothing. I'm gonna act a complete fool. Hey, we're not gonna do that. No, we're not. Go up in there. See? I even have to do it with him. I got to do him like that. Oh yeah, but see, you have to show him that everything is not funny because he's at the age now where he is starting to understand. You know, of course, you treat them appropriately. Like a little small baby doesn't know when they're doing wrong. You can tell when your child knows when they're doing wrong because they will do something and look at you and laugh, or they know you know you doing wrong, and that's when you start to, you know, get on them a little bit more and show them that you're not playing, because you don't want them to end up doing something that could hurt them. You know, they could hurt themselves. Like, I saw a young lady on YouTube, and she has a set of twins, and she had, I didn't understand this. I didn't really understand the floor plan of their house, but she had a baby gate at the top of the stairs, and the kids were walking up the stairs and then sliding down the stairs backwards. You know, like walking up the stairs. The baby gate was at the top of the stairs. And then they would get on their stomachs and slide down the stairs backwards. And I'm like, why is the baby gate at the top of the stairs? Why isn't the baby gate at the bottom of the stairs to keep them from going up? And the mother is laughing. And when you're laughing, you're encouraging the behavior, because the kids see you laughing and they're like, oh, okay, well, I'm making mommy happy. Let me keep doing it. So when they go up the stairs and get into that, oh, I'm going to flip around and go back and flip the wrong way and fall down the stairs, that's your fault because you laughed and you showed them that that behavior was okay. So we have to really get on certain behaviors that our children have to break them from them early, so that they don't understand, so that they do understand that it's certain things that you can't do. Mommy doesn't want you to get hurt. I love you. I don't want to put you in a position where you're going to get hurt. You can't do that. And I mean, don't do it. And you can't, you know, hold this guilt trip in your mind that if I raise my voice or if I do something that's going to scar them for life, them kids ain't going to remember that. Now, I ain't telling you to go and put some grits on the stove, and when your kids, you know, do something, you throw a hot pot of grits on their ass. But I'm telling you to be firm in your discipline, because the kids need to understand that I'm the mama. I'm this my show. This my show. I'm the lead actress in this production. You children are the supporting actors and actresses. So you gonna follow my lead, okay? It ain't the other way around. I'm not following you. You're following my lead. I run this show, okay? This is not a democracy. When it comes to children, it's not a democracy. It's a dictatorship. This my shit, and you gonna act accordingly. I know y'all hate me. She said, I've tried so many things, mostly as him putting things in his mouth or making a mess on purpose. Well, he's one of the ones where you're just going to have to be a little bit more forceful with him, because the putting things in his mouth, that's one of those bad things. Because kids are fast. They will put anything in their mouth. Anything. I remember one time I had a party at my house, a Super Bowl party, and everybody, people were leaving, and I had a cup with some brandy and coke in it, and I had left it on the counter, and I had walked outside with my friend, and to say goodbye and stuff, and my kids were in the house, and my oldest son told me that my youngest son, he drunk your soda. Snitching. He drunk your mama, when you went outside, he drunk your soda. And that wasn't just soda. Thank God it was only a little bit left in the cup. And I don't think he wanted to like drink the whole thing because he knew that it was mine. And so, he only drank a little bit of it. But he didn't got him a nice good swig of brandy and coke. And I think he was maybe maybe 4 or 5 years old. Yeah, maybe four. Because I think his brother was like 5 or 6. Just that quick. And I put it up on the counter because I was thinking, oh, he won't reach up here and get it. But he did. So I'm telling you, you when you see certain things that your child is doing, you have to start to nip those things in the bud. You have to, because sometimes those things can be dangerous or become dangerous. Yeah, they know. Granny don't play. I'm not my kids. I take them to the store. I take them to the store. I don't have no problems with them. I I think they look at me, and uh and one thing is, I'm their black grandma. Their other grandmother is white. And I think there's a difference there. That alone makes me, kind of stand out to them. So they don't try me. I told their mama. I said, I ain't had no problems with them. I have never taken them anywhere and had a problem. Never. And I ain't never had a problem with Amani. I've never had to whoop Amani. But Amani is a different child though. She's never been um, bad or really just doing too much. She's never been that kid ever. Even when she was little, if you would tell her to leave something alone, 9 times out of 10 she would. Okay, well leave me an email. Email me, Kay, because there are other people getting on the schedule. And I'm going to tell you, people that want to get on the schedule for your monthly reading, please don't put down a weekend day, um, like a Saturday or Sunday. And right now, don't even use, okay, for the month of September, Fridays is, and I got a phone call. Fridays is out. No Fridays. So, um, in Saturdays and Sundays is always out. I don't work on the weekends. Period. Okay? The weekends is for my family only. So please don't use the weekend or Friday as a day for your reading. Monday through Thursday only. So let me know um, in an email what day you prefer, and let me know which package um, you fall under, because it does make a difference. Because the first two, the first package, I think you just get like a shout out in the videos, and uh, exclusive content when I start doing videos that are just for members. And I think the second tier is the reading. You get a one card reading for the month. And then the third tier is you get that one card and a phone call, or however you FaceTime. If you have iPhone, we can FaceTime or phone call or whatever, however you choose to do it. So when you leave me an email, tell me which tier you are under, so I'll know which reading thing you're going to do. Now, for people who are outside of the US, we're going to have to get together and figure out the time difference, because I do have one person who is in the UK. We're going to have to sit down and figure out the time difference and all that kind of stuff. And even for you guys that are here, a lot of you are in different states than I am, so we'll figure that part out um, also. Oh, Kingston is a Scorpio, girl. He is basically just gonna do what he want to do. Because he didn't already made his mind up. So you're going to have to probably find some type of reward system for him when he is, doing well. You're going to have to start positively rewarding him. And when he's not doing well, you're going to have to start taking things away from him and teaching him. Start early with the reward system. If you have to do a chart with stars, or treats, or whatever. But you just gonna have to realize that he is Scorpio. He is going to be stubborn, so you are going to have to treat him accordingly. You're gonna have to be, as a parent, you're gonna have to be a little bit more stubborn than what he is. And don't be afraid to discipline your kids. You're not going to kill your child by disciplining them. They need that, because eventually that child is going to have to go to school and deal with another adult. And if he is used to getting his way with you, he's going to transfer those same feelings on to the next adult that is going to be responsible for him. Phyllis said, whoop his ass. Lord. Phyllis, I'm trying not to say that. Okay? Phyllis, we know that, sweetheart. That's how we get down. Everybody don't get down like that. You almost choked me to death. Phyllis said, whoop that ass. Okay? These new mothers don't whoop their kids, Phyllis. They don't do that, baby. These new mamas feel like if they whoop their babies, the baby's gonna remember that spanking for the rest of their life. But you can get one good one off on them. You ain't got to, beat them like Kunta. But you can get one good pop in. You get that child that ain't never been popped before, and you pop them, And they be like, oh shit, she's serious. Let me go sit my ass down somewhere. I'm telling you, sometimes you got to strategize with these newfangled kids. These kids come here trying their parents. I done seen little brand new babies giving fingers and mean mugging their mamas and stuff. These kids come here with an attitude, so you got to have something for them. And I'm telling you, you pop him, the rest of the kids would be like, "Oh shit, let me go, let me go get my shit." Sit down somewhere. Mama done popped the hell out of Kingston. I'm telling you, sometimes you got to set an example, honey. Like Phyllis say, whoop that ass. You may only have to do it once. Girl, these newfangled babies, these 2020 models, these 2000 kids, they come here on that new shit. They do. And I got something for you. I will, honey, I will give it to you. I most definitely will. Me and your pawpaw. So you got to figure out what type of child you have. Each child you parent differently. Okay? Wait a minute. I saw this video on Facebook, honey. This woman threw this sandal at, and she was Hispanic. Honey, she kicked her leg up, and the sandal flew. She grabbed it and threw it at the little girl as she was running. I was like, okay, you did that before. You had to. I mean, mama kicked her leg up. The sandal flew off her foot. She grabbed it and threw it at the little girl. You didn't did that before. That ain't the first child that you did that with. You had to have did that before. I was like, you better you better throw that shoe. Sometimes you have to. Sometimes you just whoop they ass. Okay? I'm sorry. And by law, you can whoop your child. You can whoop your child. You just can't beat them. Okay? You can't beat them, but you can spank your child. That's your child. Don't let these white folks get you to a point where you don't discipline your child, because they gonna discipline them. They will. They will beat the brakes off your child. So you gotta get these kids in line early. You can whoop him. He ain't gonna die. He ain't gonna die. If you spank him on his behind, get them legs just right, pop him on his hand, it ain't gonna kill him. He ain't even gonna. The thing about little kids, you spank them, they cry for 2 seconds, and they didn't gone on about their business. They don't remember that. Stop letting these millennials make you believe that everything that happened to them when they was young, they, oh God. I remember growing up, my mama, I wanted a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and she wouldn't give it to me. If you don't go somewhere and sit your ass down and shut up, I don't care about what happened to you when you were 6 and you 35. I don't. Because if you're not going to therapy to try to fix it, then it's not that serious for you. It's not. Now, if you're going to therapy, if it was something really serious, then go to therapy and work it out. I worked out my soul salvation in therapy for many a years. It was, and I am not afraid to say, honey, I done laid on many a couches. I done been to therapy. I done had many a therapist. I worked through my mess because I didn't want to get into a relationship, a marriage. I didn't want to try to raise my children as a broken person. Put Help me put these pieces together so they'll stay together. So that I can get into a marriage and be a loving wife, be a loving mother, not just some broken individual constantly carrying the things that happened to me in the past. I had my mama, I had a crazy first marriage. I had to work through those things. If I hadn't worked through, went to therapy and worked through my crazy first marriage, ain't no way in the world I would be married now and probably not be separated or something at this point. If you're not willing to work on yourself, stop complaining. Don't complain. You like where you at. You like your jacked up life. You didn't got to a point where you're comfortable in your mess. I wasn't. I wasn't. And if things get crazy in this relationship, in this marriage that I'm in now, I don't have a problem going right on over there to Kaiser and telling them that I need somebody to talk to. I don't have a problem with that because I want my marriage to function. I want to stay with the person that I'm with. I love him, and I want to make it work. So if I feel like I need to get some help, I'm gonna get it. And mothers, don't be afraid to reach out to. Everybody got some elders in their family somewhere. Don't be afraid to reach out to somebody and tell, hey, I got this one child that just is acting a complete fool. What do you think I should do? Reach out for help. Ashton McKinney said every state is different. Might be free in Cali, but in other states that don't have resources or they drug you up, speaking from experience, you make it seem so easy. Maybe your childhood wasn't so. Even in states that you may have to pay for your mental health, isn't it worth it? I mean, you go to the doctor for everything else, so why can't you go to the doctor to seek treatment for mental health? If you have a job, don't you have some type of health insurance? Usually most states, if your job does not provide health insurance, there's something through the county that you can get. Most states do have um, mental health assistance, but you have to research it. You have to want to get help, right? You can get right. You can There are a whole lot of resources online. There are many mental health resources online. But you have to want to get it. And as far as being drugged up, there are too many drugs now on the market that help people. Um, you know, When Prozac first came out, Prozac was like the drug that they were putting everybody on, you know, doping people up who had psychiatric issues with Prozac and some of these other very serious drugs that, you know, would distort your uh, mental ability. There are too many drugs out now to say that you are drugged up. Way too many. There are too many drugs out now to help you with whatever problem you have, bipolar, schizophrenia. There is a plethora of drugs out now. You just have to be willing to try something that works for you. If you get one and it don't work, try another one. You can't get one and it don't work and be like, oh, I ain't taking no more because they all make me feel drugged up and you only took one or two. That's like me. I have high blood pressure. I have tried a plethora of drugs. If one of them makes me dizzy or messes with my stomach, I will go back to the doctor and say, hey, these are the side effects that I had from this one. Can we try another one? I will get on another medication. You have to do the same thing for your mental health. If one don't work, get another one. We in 2020. There's no excuse now for anything because it is even some of these drug companies will even help you. They give you vouchers to help you pay for your meds if you can't pay for them, but you have to get out here and do the legwork. You have to want it. You can't just assume that the first drug that you take is going to be perfect for you because it's normally not. We all react, our bodies react differently to medication, and you never know how you're going to react until you take it. And if that one makes you feel drugged up, then you go back and tell the doctor, hey, that one didn't work for me. And if you can't advocate for yourself, normally every clinic and every hospital has a social worker there that is there to help you advocate for you when you're not able to speak for yourself. But you have to go out and find these resources. All drugs have side effects. All of them have some type of side effect. So Moth Mama said, I think some folks are scared of healing because their trauma is a big part of their personality, and then they won't know who they are. You won't know who you are as a whole person. And that is true. But that's still not an excuse. You still can't use that as an excuse. Who wants their life story to be, I've been hurt, I was hurt, my mama did this, my daddy been in prison all my life, so I'm mad at the whole world. You're not doing nothing but hurting yourself and hurting everybody that you come in contact with. That's your story. That's it. You're not. You got to face that because see, those people are the people that normally end up by themselves because they've pushed everybody in their lives away from them because of their pain and trauma from their past. Because I don't have to deal with you. You know what I mean? Even though I know your story and I know, you're acting this way, because you've been hurt, you're angry, and you're frustrated. I don't have to deal with that. I can handle you with a long handled spoon because it's up to you to change your situation. No one can change your situation. As an adult, no one can change your situation but you. You are the only one that can change your situation. No one can. Hey, Jen, no one can force you into therapy. You have to want it. You have to want to change. You have to want your life to be different. You can't allow your life to your past, your anything to hold you hostage, to just hold you in a bad situation, especially if you know that the situation is bad and you know that things can get better, but you all you have to do is put in a little bit of work to make things better. You when you know now, for people that don't even have an understanding that they are so mentally ill that they don't even understand that what they're doing is wrong, or they don't understand how to get help. That's different. But if you are aware that what you're doing, that there is help out there, that there is medicine I can take, that there is a mental health facility a mile away from my home, and you just choose not to use that, then it's on you. It's on you. Your medicine may be $50. Don't go to the club. Don't smoke no weed. Don't buy your weed. Use that money that you was going. Don't buy your Jordans. Because see, if you telling me that it's too expensive to get your medicine or go to a mental health facility because you have to pay out of pocket, but you have on the new Jordans that cost $200, then you don't want no help because you walking around with your mental health help on your feet because you ain't have to have them Jordans. You could have went to Walmart and bought you a pair of Shacks that cost $20, and then took the $180 and went to the clinic and talked to a therapist and got your medicine. See, y'all talking to somebody that I didn't work with too many people. And I know y'all love to come up with excuses. You love excuses. You'll use any kind of excuse instead of doing what's right. And it's too much help out here now. Sam said, once you know, you can't go back to not knowing. You can't. When you know what's wrong with you can't go back to, just go get it fixed. I knew something was going on with me. I knew. I know that I am the type of person that can slide into anxiety and depression like that. I know that about myself. When I feel it coming on, like yesterday, I got some bad news. You're gonna look at this one eyelash. Yesterday I got some bad news. And I just jumped in the bed, lay down, and just covered my head in the pillow. I laid there for a while. I said, okay, go ahead, go on and lay down for a couple of hours, get your mind right, you know. And then you're gonna have to get up and deal with it. You just gonna have to. So, honey, I was in the bed. Do you hear me? I was like this. My husband came in and he was like, "You all right?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm okay." He went on and did what he was doing. He came back later. He was like, "You all right?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm okay." I gave myself a good couple of hours, and then I got up and started moving around. I know myself. If I hadn't got up, I just would have just been wallowing in that the rest of the day. I got up, I forced myself to eat. I forced myself to think about all of the good things that were going on in my life. Okay? That one thing is just it's a setback. But I know how I am. I got up, I messed with my crystals, I you know, cleaned up a little bit, went outside, got some fresh air, you know, continuously talking to myself, reassuring myself that, this ain't gonna last forever. This is just a bump in the road. We all have bumps. You ain't the only person in the world going through a bump. Because your anxiety will tell you that you the only one in the world having a bump right now. Everybody else in the world is out there having a good time, but your world sucks. Dig a hole, jump in, don't never get out. That's how my anxiety is. No, girl, don't get up. Keep laying there. No, I'm not. Shut up, girl. I'm gonna get up and move around, do what I gotta do. But I did give myself a chance to, okay, well, goddamn, I hate this. I hate my life, shaking my whole fist at the world, beating the pillow. I was laying down in the bed with all of these pillows piled on top of my head, just, I just had a pity party for one, okay? For one. I laid there. And then I just got up. You can't stay there, girl. You gotta get up. Keep on moving. People count on you. This it's real. Get your ass up, move around, go outside, get some fresh air, do what you gotta do, because you gotta keep on going. But I know that there are people when they take a hit like the one I took yesterday that can take you out for a week, a month, because you're not dealing with it the way you should. And anxiety and depression is real. A lot of people, don't want to honor the fact that it's real or pretend like I'm not going to ever sugarcoat shit for nobody. It's real. I done been there. And there have been times when I have not been able to get up after 3 hours. I had to lay there longer. But I'm in a good place right now. So that little 3 hours, I was able to get my mind right after a couple of hours, but I was deep. I was piling pillows on top of my head and everything. It's like, God damn, I hate 2020. I hate this whole, I'm just shaking my fist at the whole world. I was just done. You hear me? If somebody had gave me a shovel, I'd have just went outside and dug a hole. It wouldn't even have to be that deep. I'm only 5'3". I could have just dug a hole and just jumped right on in it. But today I'm better. You got to keep going. You have to. And a lot of that is the fact that I have truly worked on myself. When I see anxiety trying to slip up, I'll be like, I'm not going to play this game with you today. Now, I'm going to play with you for about 2, 3 hours, but then I got to go. You go on and mess with somebody else. I'm going to sit here and listen to all of that. You are horrible. Your life sucks. You're never going to get. I'm going to sit there and listen to that for a couple of hours, but after a while, I'm going to be like, you know what? I got things to do. You're going to have to go find you somebody else to play with. I'm tired. Let me get up and go. And I get up and go. Yeah, you have to give yourself time to feel those feelings. You have to process it. Sweeping things under the rug, that's not going to help. You have to give yourself time to process it, to think about it, to throw it around in your mind. And I got one of them crazy minds. My mind will lead me, throwing me off in a ditch somewhere in the dark, and just all kind of stuff. Like, I had a dark mind sometimes. But you just gotta, you gotta process those feelings and move on. Because I'm not at a point where I want to give up. I'm not. So it was a speed bump yesterday. I took a hard hit, but I dealt with it. Hush. I got too many people that, love me and count on me for me to give up. So it was a speed bump. We had to take a detour. We had to reroute. You turn the navigation on. We had to reroute, and we just gonna keep on going. Quick question: did you make your own necklace? No, actually, I got this from the flea market. I do make these, but I didn't make this one. I actually got this from the flea market, but I do make wire uh, jewelry. But I was at the flea market and it was a lady there, and she all she had was these really um, big, chunky crystals. And I think I've had this for I think I've had it since 2011 because I think I got it like when me and my husband first got together. So I've had it for a while, and it's a very nice size, weight crystal. I think this is one of the largest crystal necklaces that I have. Yeah, I love this crystal. So that's it, y'all. Um, it's probably going to take forever for this video to upload with my janky Wi-Fi. Hi, Steph. Um, you know, the area is beautiful. If you have seen any pictures of my backyard, you would be like, God damn. The area is beautiful. But we have the worst Wi-Fi in the world in this house. I don't know why. Um, I think Friday I'm gonna go to the Apple store and see if they have like this connector thing. My husband was telling me that I probably need to get to hook up to my phone, to hook it directly to the modem so that the upload speed can be faster because it sucks. Oh God, the Wi-Fi sucks here. Sometimes you gotta give up one thing to get something else because when I go in the backyard and I look at that view, I'm like, forget that Wi-Fi. you know, when I walk to the park that is inside this area where we live, I'll be like, screw that Wi. Who needs Wi-Fi? Who needs Wi-Fi when you live right on the water? So yeah, you don't. I don't think about it until I need it. But sometimes you have to give up something to get something else. Because, honey, the sunsets here are gorgeous. California has the most. I haven't seen any sunsets anywhere else that compare to California. California has the most beautiful. And I think since we live on the bay, like the sunsets here are different than they were when we lived more inland. It's just different here. So, yeah. If it takes 3 hours to upload, it's just gonna take 3 hours to upload. We just gonna have to deal with it. So, we at the hour mark. I'm going to. Yeah, I'm from California, born and raised in the Bay Area. Bay Area, born and raised. I've been here 56 years. 55 years in Oakland, and we're now in Contra Costa County, which is not too far from Oakland. So yeah, yeah, we do. We got some beautiful sunsets, especially when if you can catch it when before the fog rolls in or what. I mean, I've still seen some beautiful sunsets even with the sun going down and it's slightly foggy. It's still gorgeous. The colors, and it's weird because even with the fires and in this area, in the Bay Area, it gives the sun this when it's going down this like red and orange and pink hue. I mean, the colors are just gorgeous, gorgeous. Oh, shout out to my brother Sam. Sam is a director. He is a cinematographer. He is a photographer, and Sam has done videos for uh Sam. Say who you did videos for. A lot of people here in the Bay Area. But the gospel video, didn't you do Stomp? What's dude name? Lately I've been through something that really got me. Sam did a whole lot of videos. He is extremely talented with the camera. He's a producer. He's a photographer. Kirk Franklin. Yes. Sam did a couple of Kirk Franklin's videos. He's done rap videos here in the Bay Area. He is well known, very very talented. He's a teacher now. I'm gonna have to get Sam on the show when I finally do get this Wi-Fi situation together. We're gonna have to get Sam on the show so he can talk about his experiences as a African American Kirk Franklin in the Revolution. He can talk about his experiences as an African American photographer. The movie Black August, he did. I would love for him to come on the show and talk about what it's been like, especially for him growing up here in the Bay Area. He is a Bay. You are a Bay Area native, right? Did you go to school here in the Bay Area? Um, Sam and I used to work together. He is extremely talented. I know he is a teacher now. Very invested in um, his young African American students. I'm extremely proud of him. Very, very proud. Always have been. Uh, Proud of Sam. We used to work together um, years ago. But yeah, he's had some very, he's worked with a lot of people. Very interesting. Okay, and he is a Bay Area native. Um, I am a Bay Area native. So yeah, I would love to have him on the show and talk a male perspective of what it was like growing up here in the Bay Area. He is a middle school teacher. Okay, so Sam is a very talented young man, extremely talented. He does have children also who have went to school here in the Bay Area. So yeah, I'm so proud of him. I'm so glad that he is here. He is part of the House of Black Hearts family now. Okay. Up and Mary J. Blige. Okay. You better come through and let us know who you are. He has worked with a lot. Like I didn't even know you had worked with Mary J. Blige, honey. Sam done did a lot of stuff. Like we didn't even know because he is one of those people that is, he's not braggadocious. He just looks like a regular guy. Like you wouldn't know from looking at him that he did all this kind of stuff. You never know who a person is, what they've done in life just from looking at them. You will never know. And we have greatness in our presence. He didn't work with all kind of folks. Okay? Sam been out here. He done did all kind of stuff. So when you see those videos, just know that he was the one behind the camera producing and doing all kind of stuff. And I'm really just getting into photography. I've always wanted to get into photography. But when I was young, my mother didn't have a whole lot of money to, buy me a really nice camera. And that was what I wanted, when I was a little kid. All I had was just, little Instamatic cameras and stuff. But now I have a very nice Canon camera. And so I'm, getting into. Now, I ain't about to say I'm going to be out here doing music videos for E40 and all these folks and stuff. um, but I do want to learn how to take some, really nice pictures and stuff. So I really, really appreciate you coming by today, Sam. We are going to get you on the show once I get this Wi-Fi connection stuff together, so that you can come on and talk about, your experiences, what it's like teaching middle school in the inner city, because I know that's got to be challenging. It has to be, because these kids come with a lot of challenges. Like we both worked with kids before, at facilities, and we know that a lot of these kids in the inner city do come with a lot of challenges. And I take my hat off completely to any teacher now, especially middle school and high school, because these kids, this is a new breed of children, and it takes a very special person to, want to deal with these kids. Like I couldn't do it now. I really couldn't. I know that I couldn't. Yeah, after I left that group home, that was it for me. Them group home girls made me never want to um That made me not want to deal with kids anymore. But to know that I did make a impact in their lives, because a lot of the kids that I worked with have found me on Facebook. They keep in contact with me, they still talk to me. So I know that I did make an impact, and that's the most important thing. You want to know that the kids that you are working with, you are, touching their lives in a positive way. And I take my hat off to you, sweetheart, because you still out here doing it. You still in the trenches. I done retired. So I'm just doing my grandma and wife duties. That's the only thing that I'm doing right now, is taking care of my husband, who is a handful, taking care of my husband and my little dog and my grandkids, and my family that I have developed here on YouTube. This is where I'm putting a lot of my energy. My energy has always been, I think, in healing and helping, and so I do that as much as I can. That's why I'm here every day. So I will see you guys probably tomorrow. Um, if I find something interesting to talk about, pray for these people who are being evicted. Okay? Because this is serious. We and it's not just adults. These people have kids, they have small children, they have teenage children. We are putting people on the street. I mean, to watch that police officer put a family with a small child on the street in a stroller. The mother was carrying the baby so that they could put all of their, like, the baby's diapers and toilet tissue and clothes and toys and everything in the stroller. And they were pushing that away from their apartment as the police officers were locking the door. Pray for these people, because it's getting serious out here. Where are these people going to go? They got to go somewhere. They have to go. Evicting 200 people a day. In Houston, it started Monday. 200 people a day? No. Something is going to happen. It has to. All of these people are just not going to stay on the street. People are going to be breaking in their homes, probably going back up in there. So pray for these people. We consider ourselves, we call ourselves spiritual people. This is time. This is the time that the spiritual people have to rise up and start using the gifts that you have been given. You have been given a gift. You have to use it. We all have been given some type of gift. This is a time when we have to start using our gifts. So pray for these people, because it's getting serious out here. It's bad. It's ugly and it's bad. So I will see you guys tomorrow. I love you guys so much. Do not forget to light a white candle and pray for these people who are out here homeless. Okay? Ask their ancestors to come forward and protect them. Ask the Orishas. Call out to Oshun and Oya and Yemaya to help them, to help these mothers protect their children. That's what they do. The Orishas are waiting for us to call on them. They want to hear us call their name and ask them for help. Ask your ancestors to help. Tell your ancestors what is going on in the world right now. Tell your ancestors that you are hurting. You are hurting because you are seeing other people get hurt. They will see your need and go out and help. But we have to ask them. Ask the Orishas to protect them. When you see other people who are suffering more than you, sometimes you have to stop thinking about what's going on with you, especially when you have a roof over your head and you have enough food to eat. All I got to do is get up out this chair and walk into the kitchen and fix me something to eat. I have a roof over my head. So I can pray for somebody else. Do that. Okay? So, yeah, we do. We have to cover these people. We have to. So I will see you guys tomorrow. I love you. Thank you so much for spending over an hour with me. And I will see you guys later. Bye.